My dear friend, life can change in ways we never expect. One day everything feels normal, and the next day your whole world looks different. Losing a husband is one of the heaviest journeys a woman can face. The silence feels louder, the days feel longer, and the weight of new responsibilities can make your heart ache even more. But here's what I want you to know. You are not alone. Many women have walked this same road, and while grief is never easy, there are gentle steps you can take to protect your peace, your security, and your future. In this video, we are going to talk about the most common mistakes widows are often pressured into after losing their husbands, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. These are not only financial mistakes, but also emotional ones that can affect your health, your relationships, and your sense of dignity. By the end of this time together, my hope is that you will feel calmer, clearer, and more confident about the road ahead. And before we begin, I'd love for you to share something in the comments below. What is the best piece of advice your husband ever gave you? Something that still guides you today. And also, please let us know the state you're watching from. Your wisdom and your presence could not only bring comfort to your own heart, but it may also help another woman listening right now. Mistake number 1. Not updating legal documents and beneficiaries. Mistake number 1 that I see many widows make is not updating their legal documents and beneficiaries. I know, sweetheart, the thought of going through papers, wills, or insurance accounts right now may feel cold and even disrespectful when your heart is still grieving. But please hear me. It is one of the most important steps you can take to protect yourself and your family. Too many women put this off because they think, I'll deal with it later. But later often comes with problems. Let me give you an example. A widow I once spoke with left her husband's name on several old accounts. Years passed, and when she eventually passed away herself, everything became complicated. The house went into probate court, her savings were frozen, and her children ended up fighting over what should have been simple. It wasn't because she was careless, it was because no one told her how urgent this was. Here's what I want you to do. Set aside one quiet afternoon and ask someone you trust, a daughter, a close friend, or even a good advisor, to sit with you. Go through your will, your power of attorney, your life insurance, your savings accounts, your retirement accounts, any place where a beneficiary is listed. Make sure those names reflect your wishes today, not from 20 or 30 years ago. This is not about being cold-hearted, it's about being wise. By updating your documents now, you're protecting your dignity, your wishes, and your family's peace of mind. Mistake number 2. Taking the insurance or pension payout all at once. When a husband passes, many widows suddenly receive a large check from life insurance or a pension. At first, it feels like relief. Finally, something solid in the middle of so much confusion. You may think, maybe I'll be okay now, and that thought brings a little comfort. But my dear, I want you to be careful because that money is not meant to be spent quickly. It is meant to replace the income your husband would have provided for years to come. I have seen this happen too often. The phone starts ringing. Financial advisors you've never met before offer to help. Family members suggest ways you could use the money. Friends ask for loans. And even your own heart whispers, maybe I should take that trip or buy something new. Before long, what was meant to last a lifetime is gone. Not because you were careless, but because grief makes it so hard to think clearly. Here's what most women don't know. You don't have to take all the money at once. In many cases, you can choose to spread it out in monthly payments, annuities, or structured payouts. This gives you breathing room, protects your future, and helps you avoid big tax surprises. Before you cash that check, sit down with someone you truly trust, someone qualified, with nothing to gain from your decision. Once the money is gone, there is no replacing it. Treat it with the care it deserves. You and your husband worked hard for it. Let it carry you gently and steadily into the next chapter of your life. Mistake number 3. Rushing to sell the house too soon. When your husband passes, the house may look the same, but it doesn't feel the same. Every corner holds memories. The chair he always sat in, the garden you planted together, even the sound of his slippers by the bed. In those first months of grief, these memories can feel unbearable, and well-meaning people around you may say, "This house is too big. You should sell and move somewhere easier." At times, that advice may even sound right because cooking in the same kitchen or sleeping in the same bed can feel too heavy. But sweetheart, rushing to sell your home too soon is often a mistake. I have seen widows move quickly, believing it would ease the pain, only to regret it later. Buyers and agents can sense when someone is grieving and vulnerable. Too often, women accept less than the house is worth, or they move into a place that doesn't feel like home at all. The truth is, your home is more than walls and a roof. It holds your life, your traditions, and your love story. Selling it too soon can mean losing more than just property. It can mean losing part of yourself. Instead of making a quick decision, give yourself time. You don't need to leave everything behind to heal. Sometimes a small change can make the space feel lighter. Painting a room, moving furniture, or starting a new garden. Healing takes time, and so should this decision. Later, when you feel stronger and clearer, you can choose to move on your own terms. But for now, let your home continue to care for you a little longer. Mistake number 4. Trusting the wrong people with money. After losing your husband, suddenly everything falls on your shoulders. Bills, accounts, decisions, and paperwork. And in those early days when your heart is aching and your mind feels tired, people start showing up. Some are relatives you haven't spoken to in years, neighbors with advice, or old friends who suddenly want to help. Others are complete strangers, insurance agents, financial advisors, or callers who sound so kind and trustworthy. At first, it feels like relief. You think, finally someone who understands. Finally, I don't have to carry this alone. But my dear, here is the truth. Not everyone who offers to help really wants to help. Some people see a grieving widow as an opportunity. They count on your sadness, your confusion, and your desire to lean on someone. I have seen smart, loving women lose their savings this way, not because they were foolish, but because they trusted the wrong person at the wrong time. That is why you must be careful. Never sign papers you don't fully understand. Never hand over control of your accounts without complete transparency. A good advisor will never rush you, never pressure you, and never make you feel guilty for asking questions. Remember, the money you and your husband saved is not just numbers in an account. It represents years of hard work, sacrifices, and dreams for your future. Protect it as carefully as you would protect your own health. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Take your time, ask questions, and lean only on people who have truly earned your trust. Mistake number 5. Isolating yourself from people who care. After the funeral ends and the visits slow down, a heavy kind of quiet often takes over. At first you may welcome it. No more visitors, no more questions, no more pretending to be strong when you feel so weak inside. But as the weeks pass, that quiet can grow heavier. The phone rings less, the invitations stop coming, and little by little you begin to pull away. You tell yourself, I just need time. And while time is important, too much distance can quietly turn into loneliness. My dear, I want you to hear this gently. Grief needs both time and connection. You were never meant to carry this alone. It may feel easier to stay home, to ignore calls, or to tell friends, maybe later. But hiding away doesn't protect your heart, it starves it. Healing comes when you sit with someone who listens, when you say your husband's name out loud, when you share a memory and cry and laugh in the same conversation. Those moments don't erase the pain, but they make it lighter. The people who love you are not tired of you, and they don't see you as a burden. They are waiting for you to let them in. Start small. Answer the next phone call. Say yes to coffee with a neighbor. Attend church, even if you slip out early, or join a support group. Not because you feel ready, but because you deserve not to be alone. Connection will not make you forget your grief, but it will remind you of something important. Your life still matters, your presence still matters, and you are still deeply loved. Mistake number 6, neglecting your own health. When your husband passes, it is natural to put all of your energy into just getting through the day. Grief is heavy, the paperwork feels endless, and your mind is being pulled in so many directions. In the middle of all that, your own health often slips to the bottom of the list. You skip meals or eat whatever is easiest. Doctor's appointments get postponed. Sleep becomes restless. Exercise feels impossible. You tell yourself, "I'll take care of me later." But later often doesn't come. Sweetheart, I need you to remember this. Your health is not a luxury. It is your foundation. Without it, every other part of life, your independence, your security, your peace, becomes harder to protect. I have seen too many women ignore their health until a medical scare forced them to pay attention, and by then the road back was much more difficult. Taking care of yourself does not have to be overwhelming. Start small. Go for a short walk each day, even if it's just around the block. Drink more water. Keep your doctor's appointments, even when you feel like skipping them. Prepare simple, nourishing meals that give you strength, and allow yourself to rest without guilt. These small steps are not selfish. They are acts of love, not only for yourself, but for your children, your grandchildren, and the people who still need you in their lives. Mistake number 7, making major life decisions too quickly. Grief has a way of clouding the mind. In those first months after losing your husband, every decision feels heavier than it should. And yet, this is often the very time when people around you start encouraging big changes. A family member may suggest you move to another state to be closer to them. A friend might say, "You should start dating again." Or maybe you yourself feel restless and think a fresh start will ease the pain. But my dear, making major life decisions in the middle of heartbreak is almost always a mistake. I have seen women sell their homes, move across the country, or commit to new relationships far too soon. Later, when the fog of grief lifted, many of them looked back with regret, not always because the choice was wrong, but because it was made too quickly, before their heart and mind were ready. Here's what I want you to do instead. Give yourself permission to wait. Healing takes time, and so does clear thinking. You don't have to stay stuck forever, but you do need to let the storm settle before you make choices that cannot be undone. Instead of rushing into big moves, focus on small steps that bring comfort. Paint a room, join a local group, start a new hobby, or plant something in the garden. These gentle changes can help you feel renewed without locking you into decisions that you might later wish you hadn't made. Mistake number 8, forgetting that your story isn't over. When you lose your husband, it feels like your whole world has ended. The days are filled with silence, the nights feel endless, and even your reflection in the mirror may look like someone you don't recognize anymore. In those moments, it's easy to believe that life has already given you its best years and that what's left is only surviving. But my dear, that is a mistake I don't want you to make, believing that your story is finished. I have met many widows who felt this way. They stopped dreaming, stopped planning, and stopped seeing their own worth. They let grief convince them that joy would never return. But slowly, some of them began to take small steps forward. They joined a group, learned a new skill, reconnected with friends, or even started helping others who were walking the same road. And do you know what happened? They found new purpose. Their lives didn't erase the grief, but they grew around it. They discovered that their story still had meaning, and so does yours. Your husband's love will always be part of you. That love doesn't disappear. It lives in your memories, in your family, and in your heart. But alongside that love, there is still space for healing, for peace, and even for new beginnings. So please don't close the book too soon. Your life is still valuable, your wisdom is still needed, and your presence still matters more than you may realize. Every morning you wake up is proof that your story is not over yet. Let this next chapter be one of strength, courage, and gentle hope. You are stronger than you know, and the world still needs the gift of you. My dear friend, I know this has not been easy to hear. Talking about loss, money, health, and loneliness is never simple, especially when your heart is still hurting. But you stayed with me through it, and that shows me something important. You are stronger than you think. Losing a husband changes everything. It changes your daily life, your responsibilities, and even the way you see yourself. But what it does not change is your wisdom, your worth, or your right to live the rest of your life with dignity and peace. Avoiding these mistakes will not take away the grief. You will still miss him, and you will always carry that love in your heart. But by protecting yourself from these common pressures, you can keep your future secure and give yourself the space to heal without adding unnecessary stress or regret. Remember, your story is not over. You still have chapters to write, chapters of healing, of courage, of choosing wisely, and of discovering new purpose. Your husband's love will always be part of you, but so will your own strength. So please take gentle care of yourself, rest when you need to, ask for help when you need it, and never forget that your life still matters. You are not just surviving, you are still here, and that means you still have the chance to live with peace, joy, and hope. And if this message touched your heart, please share it with another woman who might need these words today.